So today is Tuesday, March 14th, 2023. This is Committee of the Whole. And tonight we're going to have a presentation, thank you, about the education review of the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System. I said that right, right? It's all yours. Take it away, my friend.
Mayor, trustees, at the time, I'm Brian Gripple, the Deputy Director of Public Works. As the mayor said, I'm going to do a very brief presentation on our NPDES permit. Our NPDES permit is regulatory by the Environmental and Protection Agency. They mandate this. The process requires this brief presentation. So the Stormwater Phase 2 rule mandated by the EPA requires the operators of a regulatory small MS4, which is the village, to obtain an NPDES permit. Coverage because their stormwater discharges are considered potential points of pollution. So the purpose of this presentation is basically to explain that and how we do it. So what is an MS4? It is a municipal separate storm sewer system. The village has two systems. We have one sanitary system and we have one storm system. Our sanitary system is collected and then it's treated. The storm sewer is not, okay? So the rainwater runs into our collection system and then it's discharged directly back into rivers, lakes, and streams. So the main difference between the two is that they have to be separated. One is treated, the other is not. So NPDES is basically a process. The village institutes to keep stormwater clean because stormwater is not treated. So it's the National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System. The system is designed to eliminate pollutants from discharging into Elk Grove Village stormwater systems such as Salt Creek, Higgins Creek, and the tributary to Willow Creek. So the next few slides are how we do it. The IEPA requires us to come up with 6 control measures and report our progress every year. It starts out normally with a notice of intent. Normally this is done every 5 years. The notice of intent is basically a statement that says we will keep our system separated and we will discharge our stormwater back into local rivers and creeks. There are 6 best management practices or minimum control measures. The first one is public education outreach. This is one portion of that, this presentation tonight. The second is public participation and involvement. Third, illicit discharge detection and elimination. 4 is construction site runoff control. 5 is post-construction runoff control. 6, pollution prevention, good housekeeping for municipal operations. And in between all these are our best management practices. I'll go through them briefly. Our first is public education and outreach. So on our village website, we do have a public service announcement. That announcement, the residents can click on it. It's about 2 minutes, and it basically gives all of our best management practices for not putting pollutants back into the storm sewer. So paint, oil, grease, don't dump that in the local storm sewer. On our website too, you can find our permit. There's a link right there. This is NPDES reports. And then throughout the year, periodically, we will do newsletters with the same message, is to keep the system separated and try not to put your paint, oil, and grease and other pollutants back into the storm sewers. The second is public participation. So every year, local residents and the Cub Scouts, they organize a Salt Creek cleanup. They basically put a boat down the creek. They start from one end, go through the other. They pick up debris, branches, sticks, garbage. The other thing that we do for public participation is the paint and oil recycling event, and this year will be May 6th. The third is the illicit discharge detection and elimination. This is the biggest portion of this. It starts with the good mapping system, which the village has, and this is for us to know where the storm sewers go and where they discharge to. Because periodically through the year, we check these outfalls. So the large diameter pipes that discharge, periodically throughout the year, we will go and check to make sure that A, they're structurally sound, B, that there's no large sticks and branches blocking them up, but most importantly, we are checking for pollutants. We are looking for gas, oil, grease, anything that smells horrendous. We will trace those pollutants back to their source if they're detected, and then we usually partner up with community development. We go to the business and we get that cleaned up. The fourth is construction site runoff control. This is a joint effort between our community development and the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, or MWRD. The purpose of this is what's called SWIP, Stormwater Pollution Protection Planning and Inspections. The idea is this, that you keep the construction debris and dirt on the site. You try to keep it as clean as possible. So stuff that you'll see often is what you see in that picture right there, which is silt fencing. You'll see sweepers going around these construction sites all the time. The purpose is, if there is a large rain, that all this debris doesn't run off and go into the storm system. So it tries to stay contained on the site. The fifth is post-construction runoff control. Most of these efforts are done in the front end of new construction during design. And the idea is post-construction, if there is any pollutants, that the system is contained on the site. So these are things like grates on storm sewers. These are things like grease control, triple pits, detention and retention ponds. The last one is our pollution prevention and good housekeeping. This stuff is mostly done by Public Works, constantly making improvements to the storm sewers, and also cleaning the storm sewers out regularly, street sweeping, branch collection, leaf pickup, anything that could possibly get into the storm sewer, we're trying to maintenance it and clean it up before it gets in there. The last slide is just where you can find our current permit, which is at elkgrove.org/stormwater, and that our last notice of intent was filed in 2021. The village is currently compliant, and we'll probably have to do that again in the next couple of years. Questions?
So we're up to date, on the cutting edge, do a great job. We've had no issues, no penalties, no findings of issues from the state or county or anything?
Nope.
MWRD happy with us?
MWRD is very happy with us.
Good. Good news. Anything for anybody else? You don't realize how important it is. One real quick. People worry about like pesticides and stuff. So if you put a turf builder on your front lawn, that stuff will run off in the storm sewer.
Correct.
So the more green initiatives you can use, the better it is for the environment.
Correct.
Okay. But otherwise, everything else is separated. We're in good shape.
Good shape.
Other questions? Well, thank you.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. That concludes committee of the whole meeting. Next will be the board meeting. Meeting adjourned.